is it going to be on? As in, is the screen going to be on? Oh yeah, my first slide is a black slide. I forgot about that. Okay. Right, so before I begin, ladies and gentlemen, this topic is a very sensitive topic. This topic can take hours and hours, but all I ask is that we can have a very focused 10 minutes on this topic. Because this topic comes from my heart. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Musa. It's very nice to see you. I see a lot of familiar faces here. And although, ladies and gentlemen, when I stand here, I see that we all look very different, we share one thing in common. One path, one goal, one journey, if you want to call it, and it's called the journey of life. You see, on this journey, we're going to have many things happen to us. We meet nice friends. Tom, for example, is a very good friend of mine. Tomas as well. But on this journey, we're going to meet a wall, an obstacle, a gap, if you want to call it that. It's called happiness. It's a very strange one, happiness. Is it a feeling? Is it a state? Is it food? If it's food, it has to be cookies. I like cookies. I'm a cookies person. Especially Tesco's triple chocolate chunk cookies. The speech is not sponsored by Tesco. But happiness, it's something odd. And just to make sure that we're all on the same boat here, who here wants to be happy? Just with a show of hands. Interesting. I'm worried about the people who didn't raise their hand. This is interesting, right? So happiness is something valuable to us. And if there's one place we can all find happiness, I believe it might be on those slides. So why don't we find out what the solution to happiness is? Okay, let's find the solution. Okay, what's going on? Now hold on. I did those slides, so this doesn't make sense. We're supposed to get a solution. One more slide, I guess. Is this working? Are you sure, Nati, this is working? Ladies and gentlemen, happiness does not exist. It never exists because we don't allow it to exist. You see, happiness, sometimes it's literally right over there, but we just don't look at it. Happiness, sometimes it shouts out, it's screaming for our attention, but we never listen to it. And this is explained by a specific type of effect known as the von Restorff effect. And that simply states that we as human beings, we tend to focus on things that are different, things that are odd, things that stand out. Matter of fact, we're doing it right now. Did you know that you can see your nose the entire time, but you just choose to ignore it? Because why would you focus on it when you can see it your entire lifetime? Your brain no longer looks at it. And we can see it in this example. Why is there an apple on the screen? Yes, we acknowledge the existence of the bananas, but the apple, just something about it. It's not even in the middle, it's just there. And that's our issue. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to tell you all to think of your nose or bananas or apples. I'm not telling you to search for them. I want you to listen to something a little bit more special. You see, our eyes, they're pointed outwards. They see everything else except one little important thing. Our ears, they're pointed outwards. They hear everything except one important thing that you've had your entire lifetime. And it's your heart. This heart that you've had as a baby, as an adult, and you're always going to have. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a time we were little babies, very tiny. Something bad happens, we cried. Something normal happens, we don't say anything. And something funny happens, we laugh. We're babies at the end of the day. And then we grow up to be a little bit older. We're teenagers now. The identity crisis, it all begins now. We have feelings, we suppress them. We no longer focus. we're bothered by something, we don't say anything about it. But sometimes we express that feelings. We give our heart some love, but not the entire time. And as adults, we forget we have a heart. We've all been there. We had feelings for someone. We think about them. Our heart beats when we think about them. But guess what we do? Nothing. We say nothing. Sometimes there could be someone, it could be at work, university, anywhere, they can be rude and disrespectful to us, and we just say nothing about it. We forget the shouting of our heart. We no longer listen to it. And sometimes, I have this happen to me sometimes, you walk by a playground, you see a very fun slide, and you're looking at the slide, you say, I really want to try that slide. But I'm an adult. I don't do that. I'm too old for this. And that's the problem. We don't listen to our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't promise you by listening to your heart you're going to be happy. You're not going to be happy. You see, when you listen to your heart, you're going to laugh sometimes. You're going to cry sometimes. Sometimes you're going to be bored. But there's one true key to happiness. One very powerful key. And I want everyone to just listen to this point. It's a very powerful one. It's all about the self-discovery. And you can never discover yourself without listening to your heart. No. You see, when you're a little kid and something bothers you, you just cry about it, you discovered something about yourself. You grow a little bit older, things are annoying you, but you suppress your heart doesn't grow. As years pass, we grow as people. Some grow a beard, some grow taller. We all change, but when we don't listen to our heart, the heart doesn't grow. That's why we say, I feel empty sometimes, I feel void. That's why we say, I wish we can go back to the days of our childhood. But no, it's not that you're into those days, it's into the feeling you had, the freedom, the listening to your heart. And that is what's important. You see, this next slide here, it's a selfie, all right? This handsome gentleman here, myself, right? Along with his friend over there, in a very small town known as Tver. This small town is in a big country known as Russia. Why did I go to Russia during the time of the war? For one main reason. I was a man in love. I loved this Russian girl. She was everything to me. Everything. And I booked a ticket. My friend told me, dude, it's been 2 months. Why are you traveling all the way to Russia? I said, it doesn't matter. I'm following my heart. I booked that ticket, traveled thousands of miles. I went to a very random town in the coldness of Russia to meet her, and my goodness, she was beautiful. Everything about the interaction was beautiful. But little does this guy know, and you all know, that in less than 12 hours, this guy's heart's about to get broken. She left me. It hurt. It hurt a lot. Very painful. It's as if it's an actual bullet in your heart. But you know what? My goodness, I don't regret that trip at all. If I were to go back in time again, I would do it again and again and again. I'll go to the same town, take the damn same selfie under that bridge. I'll do it again, and I'll meet her even knowing that she's going to break my heart. Because if I didn't go to that trip, I wouldn't have discovered who I am. Imagine if I stayed here in the UK and I said, you know what, I'm not going to travel. I would have been a different person. I would have looked the same, but my heart wouldn't have grown as a person. It allowed me to discover myself. You see, by listening to your heart can grow. By listening to your heart, you're going to make mistakes. And when you make those mistakes, you're going to know what you like as a person, what you don't like. You're going to know what makes you strong, what doesn't make you strong. You're going to know what your limits are and what your capabilities. For example, football. I suck at football. I realize that I suck at football. And I don't really try to mess with football anymore. I'm not really interested, but I'm good at other things. I've discovered myself, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the discovery. And as Alan Watts said, this great philosopher, he said, you're going to realize one day that happiness was never about your job or your degree or being in a relationship. Happiness was never about following in the footsteps of those who came before you. It was never about being like the others. No, 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 no. Happiness was about being kinder to yourself. Happiness was about the self-discovery, the hope, the listening to your heart, and following it wherever it chose to go. Happiness was about learning to live with yourself, knowing who you are as a person. Because that heart, you see, your brain can be manipulated by people, it can be affected, your body can be affected by your heart. It was always with you. Every single thing in this world, every interaction that you have, everything that you feel, every situation, every moment, it's all made for you to discover who you are as a person. And then the day will come where you're an old person, all wrinkly, all everything, and you're going to remember all the things that happened. And you know, you're going to say, well, I've been through a lot, but hey, I'm happy I did those things. Because everything that exists, ladies and gentlemen, was all about you. It was always about you. It was always about you. Thank you.